I'm going to talk about moderation and why is it important. A lot of people, they'll come in and they become very gung-ho with a protocol or a program. They're like, you give me whatever, I'm going to follow it, and I'm never going to stray from it. And it works for a while. And the moment that they can't maintain that strict diet, that strict discipline with your supplements, for some reason, it just derails them completely. Their attitude is sort of like, well, I was so good and I was doing it and it was 3 weeks in and it was perfect. I was feeling fantastic. And then there was a wedding and I ate something. I had some like pasta and I'm not supposed to. And I ate it. And then I had a drink because I was at a wedding. I didn't overdo it, but I had something. And then ever since then, it's been just debauchery, going back to bad habits, and I can't get back on track. And the reason why I think it's important to bring up this concept of moderation is that built into my plans, there's got to be cheats. So it's not a 100% all or nothing program. And it's not because being 100% strict is always a bad thing, but there is a tendency for a rebound effect or a derailing effect. A rebound effect happens when you were so strict for so long and you resisted things for so long and some of your favorite things that eventually you're like, I'm dying for a piece of cheesecake. And then when you see that piece of cheesecake, you're like, nom, 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 nom. I ate the whole cake. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I was good for 6 months, didn't have a treat. And then when I saw it, I had to have all of it. So I see that like an episode of like a binge when someone has been overly restrictive, like zero tolerance for too long. And those are people that really, really want results and are afraid of falling back. The reality is that you're going to fall. You're going to have treats. You're going to have slip ups. But you have to learn how to like just get back up and reorganize yourself and recommit. So if you don't build in cheats here and there, some people, based on their personality traits, they will eventually have these episodes where they just can't control themselves. And the first time I heard about this almost exact example, we were at, my wife and I we had gone to this bodybuilding competition way back. We were just still in school. And every athlete, every bodybuilder, every female one, they wrote down like, what are you going to do the first thing you do after the competition? They all said like a variation of like, eat a cheesecake, eat a bucket of ice cream, eat, because they've been so restrictive that's the first, like it's almost like an innate thing. It's like my body needs fat and sugar because I've been devoiding myself of it for so long. So, I mean, short of you being in a bodybuilding competition, if you just want to be healthy, have something on occasion. So this is where the idea of moderation is, because to be completely strict, 100% unforgivingly strict, is very difficult for the average person because their brain sometimes doesn't know what to do after a cheat. And it's not simple enough for them to be like, I should just go back to my routine. I can do 6 days a week, my routine. 7th day, I can have a little indulgence here and there. If they've been super strict forever, months and months, as soon as they have that cheat, or they have this unnerving craving that they can't decline, they can't waver from, then they have it and they're like, I'm a basket case. Now I'm eating everything and anything. I've thrown it all away. I guess people think that if they have a cheat, that they've somehow failed, that they don't have this like perfect record anymore. And then they're like, well, what's the point? that isn't the point. The point is that you most of the time do your best. If you know that you don't do well with something and you avoid it, and then you have it on occasion, rare occasions, it's okay. The next day, just go back to your normal routine. Take the guilt out of it, because it's not like you failed someone. It's not like you disappointed me. A lot of people, they'll be like, oh, you're going to be mad at me. And I'm like, the part I don't even say I'm mad. The part that you kind of slipped up on wasn't the cheat. It was not going back onto the protocol that you had, because for some reason the cheat to you was sort of like severing the bond. You no longer have to do it. You've kind of lost that state of grace in a sense. The other thing I want to highlight is when someone feels like they have to do it absolutely perfectly. Like they have to do everything. Meaning, I would say like, well, we can try a couple supplements and change some dietary things. And like, I will never have this thing again. I'll be like, well, I didn't say that. It's like, no, I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to cut this off. No gluten, no dairy, no sugar, no saturated fats, no fried foods. No, I'm like, well, take it easy. Like, slow down. How many supplements? I'll take 20. You tell me to take 20. I'll take 20 supplements. I'm like, I prefer you didn't. I mean, I think that this is now relating to like perception and tolerance levels, where you must do the uber extreme to get the results you're looking for. These are people that tend to like have somewhat of addictive personalities. Like they do something, they do all of it. They don't just like buy a puzzle. They buy every puzzle in that whole collection, and they have to finish each and every one of them. Like, relax. Or they pick a series, a TV series, and they start watching it, and they're like, no, I hate this series, but I committed to it. I got to finish all 8 seasons. I'm like, hit the eject button. I'm not watching this garbage. Same thing with supplements. Like, let's say you're taking so many supplements. After a while, you'll be like, oh, so many. Why am I doing this again? Like, you start losing sight of why you initially started doing these things. You're doing it to be healthy, not to be like an occult. Just chill out. So I'm the one that ends up telling people like, okay, you don't have to take that many. Like, why don't you slow down with the supplements? And it happens a lot more than you think, because there's so much information that people acquire on their own. Like people like start Googling and like looking things up and prescribing for themselves, which in some ways is not bad. But when it becomes excessive, then they'll be like, well, I have this symptom, I took that supplement. I have this symptom, I have that. And I think I have that. And I'm analyzing myself, and I know. I'm like, you need to chill out. You're making me, I've told people, you're making me nervous. You're making me uncomfortable with all these things that you're saying. I'm like, stop it. Even if you had all these conditions and symptoms at the same time, you can't treat them all at the same time. I think that's maybe another concept that people don't get. They think like everything's on the table at the same time. We have to address all. It's like, I tend to go with the onion method, the Shrek, make me cry, like layers thing. Then let's like work on your most pressing symptom. Work on that for a few weeks. Clear out the debris. See how it presents in a month from now. Not like, well, I've got this, and this over the last 10 years, and I plan on fixing all of them in a 6-week window. I'm like, you got to stop with these like apps or whatever that's like saying like you got to have all these agendas and criteria. I'm like, I don't like you. I don't like how you're acting. It's stressing me out. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm saying. I think people do get the idea. Most people never see themselves in that state. Some people might. Some people be like, yo, no, that's me. I'm all or nothing. And I'm like, you're not going to get results. You're just not going to. I have so many examples of patients, not going into detail, but sometimes the the only way we got the desired outcome was by me telling them to stop what they were doing for a period of time. Whether it's fertility, whether it's weight loss, whether it's overcoming symptom, I've had to like temporarily fire a patient. I'll be like, listen, you've been staring at this pot of boiling water for too long. It's not going to boil fully until you like turn your back and walk away. And they don't like it. It actually ends up being a very welcome break for them. But I preface it saying, we haven't stopped or given up on your goal. We just need to allow time and allow other areas to kind of percolate and get to where they need to be. Because if you keep on just like driving it home and trying to make something happen, doesn't mean it's going to happen. You want it to. You're trying to manifest it by force. It doesn't work. The body does not like that. The body doesn't like being forced to do something. It wants to be able to do it when the settings are correct. You have to lay the environment out and be like, okay, my adrenal function, my immunity, my digestion, my stress levels, my perception, my attitude, my behavior, my actions, everything, I've corrected it. Now, I just gotta let my body do what it has to do innately. I'm not gonna just be like, well, how about now? It doesn't work like that. That's why babies have due dates. Doesn't mean like, well, today's the due date, so where's the baby? Come on. Sometimes the baby's early, sometimes the baby's late. So that's why I think people need to learn to like chill out. Moderate your feelings, moderate your actions. Doing more doesn't yield more. You have to learn how to be more efficient with your actions. Don't take 20 pills when 4 will do just fine. Doesn't that sound more elegant? Sounds more like targeted, more precise. I'm taking this, I'm taking an omega, I'm taking a probiotic for this, and I'm taking a different probiotic for that. I also have 18 different lozenges I suck on throughout the day. Take it easy with the lozenges. Why don't you just have some tea? I don't know why I said lozenges. I think the feedback overall, patients, they find that because they want a result so badly, they just press and press and press, and they think that I'm so close. I'm almost there. I can't let go. But it is actually the action of letting go that they end up finding it's like, oh, I'm getting the results that I'm looking for. How about that? How about that?